Late last year, when the draw was made for the round of 16, there were many fans who were pleased about getting an opportunity to avenge Carlo Ancelotti's side after defeat in the final last season. It seemed like the perfect setup for Jürgen team to abate the misery of those final few minutes in Paris of what was an unrelenting season. The hangover of Paris still evidently looms over the head of. It can be acutely felt in the air around a tepid this season. Having come so close and put in so much effort to get as far as they did, the disappointment from ultimately falling at the last hurdle is understandable to have left some pain in the hearts of many. And that is not to mention the exertion of accumulating so many games in one season. That was always going to inevitably take a toll on players who have been performing at ethereal levels despite their mortal forms for the last few seasons. Sale latest as US-based group worth $7.2 billion front of queue on 1 FSG Avenue. Sadio Mané returns, Cristiano Ronaldo seething, European rivals news roundup. But sooner or later our own infallibility always catches up in the end, and is certainly feeling that hangover in their results this season. In the a top 4 place seems almost impossible to achieve. With the club's other rivals so far ahead even at this early stage of the season, side would need a major revival in order to return back to where they want to be, and ensure that despite the disappointments and heavy defeats suffered this season, at least won't have to spend a season away from the limelight in Europe. Perhaps a more realistic way of securing that qualification is through another route, though the route where must come face to face with the ultimate enemy in once again. The Spanish side is a team who have always seemed to have gotten the better of side in the last few years, from Kyiv to Paris, and the encounters during the quarter-finals of the 2020-21 season. It's like simply has hegemony over. For one reason or another, side simply has found it impossible to find a way past their European rivals. But sooner or later that's got to change. And needs that to change now more so than ever. A win against would put just 5 wins away from qualifying for the next season. That's a lot better than the multitude of games they would have to win in order to do it, through finishing 4th in the. For perhaps the first time as well, we'll be facing at the right time. The Reds' struggles this season have been well documented, but they are not alone. Themselves have been struggling in La Liga, so much so that even Carlo Ancelotti's job has come under question. Currently 8 points adrift in La Liga behind arch-rivals Barcelona, has a lot of catching up to do. Since the start of the year, Ancelotti's side has lost the Super Cup to Barcelona, drew with Real Sociedad and was then defeated at the weekend by Real Mallorca. After the game, Ancelotti described the match as a painful loss, and it leaves his side with plenty to do in order to retain their domestic title. Farewell to La Liga? It's a very painful defeat, he said when asked whether his side has lost the title race already. We prepared for this match, and it's a very difficult match. Overall we didn't play a bad game. The goal we conceded and the penalty kick affected us a lot. Of course, bad run of form is tame in comparison to, but with Ancelotti's side having to travel to the Club World Cup and play 2 more games in La Liga as well before facing the Reds, side may just have a flicker of hope to get the better of them. In that same period, plays just twice, which makes it especially interesting to consider. That could be the advantage and the key for the Reds. Perhaps revenge is still possible, and perhaps if such a revenge can be achieved, the hangovers from Paris can finally be put aside. Man City charges and possible punishments if found guilty as watch on Jürgen Klopp should turn to wildcard option to fix latest big problem.